What triggers strong emotions for you? Let's reflect and gain clarity together. Welcome to day 25 of the Transform 365 Challenge. This week, we've been focusing on mindfulness and emotional awareness, practices that help us understand and regulate our inner world. Today, we are diving deeper with a journaling exercise to reflect on emotional triggers. Emotional triggers are situations, thoughts, or experiences that cause strong reactions in us, sometimes without us even realizing why. By identifying these triggers and reflecting on how we respond to them, we can build self awareness and learn to handle them more mindfully. Start by asking yourself what situations or thoughts tend to trigger strong emotions in me. Are there certain people, environments, or events that constantly bring up frustration, sadness, or even joy? Take a moment to reflect on recent experiences where you felt a strong emotional reaction. Write down as many triggers as you can think of, big or small. Maybe you feel frustrated when someone interrupts you during a meeting. Perhaps you feel anxious when you're running late or overwhelmed by a long to do list. Or maybe you feel joy when spending time with loved ones or hearing words of appreciation. Write about how you usually respond when these triggers arise. Ask yourself, what do I typically do when I'm triggered? Do I react impulsively, avoid the situation, or try to suppress my emotions? Be honest with yourself. This isn't about judging your responses, but understanding them. If someone criticizes your work, do you immediately feel defensive and argue back? Or do you withdraw and overthink the situation later? If something makes you happy, do you fully embrace the moment? Or do you brush it off without acknowledging it? Finally, think about how you can respond differently the next time these triggers arise. Ask yourself, what can I do to handle this trigger more mindfully? How can I create space between the trigger and my reaction so I can respond thoughtfully instead of impulsively? Write down one or two strategies for each trigger. If interruptions frustrate you, try pausing and calmly saying, can we come back to this after I finish my point, instead of reacting with irritation. If running late makes you anxious, consider building extra buffer time into your schedule so delays don't feel as stressful. This step is about empowering yourself with tools to navigate emotional triggers more effectively. Journaling about emotional triggers helps you build self awareness by identifying patterns in your emotions and your reactions. It helps you gain clarity on what's within your control and what is not. It also helps you develop strategies to respond more mindfully, which improves both your emotional well being and your relationships. This practice is not about eliminating triggers, it's about learning how to handle them in a way that aligns with your values and goals. Take 10 to 15 minutes today to journal about your emotional triggers using these three prompts. What triggers me most often? How do I typically respond? What can I do differently next time? What did you learn from this reflection? Share your insight in the comments or post about it using the hashtag Transform365. I would love to hear how this practice is helping you grow.